nice to meet you all. My name is John Wu from 10x Technologies. We are a company based in Taipei, Taiwan. Try saying 10 technologies straight in a row for 10 times in a row. It gets quite tongue twisting. But the main product and service that we do is motion controllers for LabVIEW. Now, in this lightning talk, I'd like to give everybody a brief overview about the overall what you should know about motion control for LabVIEW and why we should use it. Okay, a little bit about me. I did have some NI experience, so I worked about 15 years in NI Taiwan. Motion control was my specialty, and basically, to keep it short and sweet, to put it very bluntly, NI stopped making motion. Well, okay. Once upon a time, NI had these motion controller boards, which were the 7344s or the 7332s and whatnot, but they discontinued these in a certain year. Now, to get everybody's blood back flowing, I do have a few prizes here that I like to give out. This here is a very special mechanical pencil from Japan, and it's not you can't buy it anywhere in Australia. The really special thing is usually mechanical pencils, they'll be dull when you keep writing it in a certain angle. This will actually automatically turn to lead so that as you write, it sharpens itself. So this is one of the prizes. And so the question that I'd like to ask everybody is, what year did NI stop making their motion controllers? What year did they discontinue their motion controller line? Anyone? 2017. Close enough. End of 2017, close to 2018. Well, okay, as a bonus question, can anybody tell me, besides the plug-in motion boards, thank you, besides the plug-in motion boards, NI had another motion control product called software motion, and that was based on the compact Rio. Now, in what year was that discontinued? Anyone? Take a wild guess. 2019, very close, 2020. I'm gonna use up all my lightning talk time. Oh, shoot, thank you. Yeah, so, you know, motion control is still a very important part of test and measurement. NI, for business purposes, not very apparent, they decided to discontinue those product lines. And so us as 10x Technologies, we picked up on that business. We have a product that does the replacement. Well, I'll talk about that in a bit. So let's talk about why we want to use motion control with LabVIEW. As we all know in this room, LabVIEW is great for data acquisition, interfacing with your instruments, graphical UI, and all that. But at some point in time, you'll need some sort of physical interface to control or manipulate either one, the device under control, you want to move it, or you want to move the angle, or two, if you want to be moving the sensor around. And that being, you know, it could be a thermometer, it could be a camera, it could be an infrared sensor. So anything you want to have some sort of physical motion, you're going to have some sort of motion control, need of motion control. Let's give some examples of why you would need motion control with LabVIEW. Now think about it. You could be doing RF antenna testing. You want to be calculating the power and the response of the antenna as you design it when you turn it into different angles. Or you want to do, let's say for Apple, as they make their MacBook keyboards, they want to keep the key press force of their keyboards just nice and tight within a certain amount of force. Or if you're like us in Taiwan, where we have lots of semiconductor applications, we do many pick and place or vision inspection and motion inspection, much like the video that Liam was showing us. So as you can see, that we made the slide so that you can say, as LabVIEW takes care of the measurements, you'll need a motion controller to take care of the movements. Now, what components are there in a motion control system? Well, as you know, as we go from the left to the right, the left being closest to you, the programmer, and the right being the closest to the actual physical machine. You have the PC and the application software on the left, And then the motion controller is actually the hardware that generates the trajectories and the motion movements, because LabVIEW by itself will not be able to do that. You'll need a specialized piece of hardware. And then in the middle, you have the motor drive or the amplifier. This is actually the most confusing part, because most people think that the motion controller and the motion drive are actually the same thing. Well, the motion drive, if you think about it, is the device that takes the current or the power from your wall and supplies the motor with the current. So you could think about it as the muscle, whereas the motion controller, it really is the kind of the brains behind how the things it should move. And then, of course, the motor itself, which then couples into your mechanisms, either it's belt and pulley, either it's gear, rack and pinion, and so forth, and connected to your motor stage and assembly. Okay, now here's the value proposition for us technology in our company, is because now that NI has discontinued their motion controllers, generic motion controllers, they don't actually, they support LabVIEW, but you'll find that the LabVIEW support is really kind of an afterthought, because they'll say we support C, we support Java, we support Python, but when they say we support LabVIEW, they'll give maybe like 2 or 3 generic VIs that are pretty much just wrapped around the DLL driver itself with not too much documentation. Now, with that in mind, I think most of the experts we have in this room wouldn't mind, you know, getting under the hood and really writing the drivers themselves. But for most people who want to use LabVIEW for its convenience, we just really want something to work as advertised. And so that's where, ooh, my time is almost up. But I'll just finish up here. For most LabVIEW users, we just want something that works as advertised. So this is the value proposition of our company's product. We have the Tenant eMotion. Why we call it eMotion is because it's based on Ethernet. It's a 4-axis Ethernet motion controller that guarantees LabVIEW compatibility and support. And so we make LabVIEW a first-class citizen within the hardware ecosystem, if you will. Now, some people may find this trivial, but our customers, they find this as being very important as the LabVIEW support. They want something that's really solid, and they don't have to guess around as to if it'll work or not. And so without further ado, we can get into the specifics. I actually have a demo box over here that's not powered up. You can take a look at the hardware, but this I brought along with my trip to show other customers as well. Okay, so next to last slide. If you need to solve these problems, either it's on the left. Let's say you have a current test system and you want to be moving the DUT or the sensor. We've got a solution for you. Or in the past recent years, we have been getting many calls about this because, as I mentioned, NI discontinued their motion products in 2018, 2020. We've been getting calls about legacy systems that need to be repaired or upgraded, and our customers have been wanting to get a solution for this. And so we have made our solution to be quite, not exactly 100% the same because we don't have access to the NI design files, but we try to make the API a one-to-one relationship. If you have an open here, you have an open in our API. If you have a close, we have a close, and so forth and so on. So it's a rather painless way of transitioning and migration. So call us, and we've got the perfect solution for you. My contact info at Motion Control LabVIEW in 30 minutes guaranteed. That's a guarantee. If you buy a product, the user experience is usually pretty simple, and if anything gets in the way, we'll be there to support you. That's Siri talking to me in Chinese, so let's ignore that. For more information, you can reach out to me via tenant-motion.com or my email. And lastly, while we're on the subject of legacy products, because through the pandemic, there have been many customers asking us for NI parts. It all kind of stemmed from the motion aspect. And then people kept asking us, well, do you have a DAC board? Do you have this? Do you have that? Because NI doesn't make that anymore. So we kind of rolled it into another service called NI Parts Direct. If you have a need for legacy parts that you can't get from NI, our value proposition is that if you buy from eBay or Taobao, you may not get what you want to get. They may not know how to test, but we test 100% of our parts before shipping. And so that's the value that we can give you guys. Here's a QR code if you want to scan for a survey to get a $100 coupon code. If your camera doesn't catch that QR code, that's okay. Go to nipartsdirect/survey-qr.html. Okay, that's kind of off on a tangent, not really related to motion control, but I hope everybody enjoyed my lightning talk and didn't get struck by lightning. And without further ado, do I have time for questions? Yes, please.
Where does your pricing start?
Oh, our motion control for a 4-axis system, it ranges around, when I say USD, it ranges around 1,300 to 1,800 depending on configuration. And that's pretty much on par with industry prices and so forth. Okay. All right, thank you. I'll pass the time to the next presenter.